how did you find out about day 9, and how did you find out about this? And we'll just follow. We'll reverse the pattern from before. Viper, you go first this time.
I found out about Day 9 because I was bored one day and just wanted to see who was streaming and what was going on. So that's kind of how. And I found out about this because of the forums.
Okay. Okay. So I'm assuming you found with Twitch, you're talking about the front page because I think he's been featured on there a lot.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. What kind of games were you into before that? Still StarCraft or other stuff?
I play WoW regularly. I have an evening raid every once in a while.
Wow.
Doing really high-end like content and kicking ass. So that's cool. I do
awesome.
a lot of other stuff. The Steam Winter Sale just ended, and I have like 500 games now. So
more games you have the ability to play.
Yeah, I have to go through a lot more now. So we'll see.
Fantastic, man. All right, Setheal, what about you?
I found out about Day 9 through a buddy of mine, and I've been watching him since Daily 100. So it's been a pretty interesting experience watching his casting career move on up. Other than that, hold on, just one sec. Other than that, um, I just completely went blank.
No,
What was the other question?
Fine. The other one was how you found out about this, which I think was because we needed somebody to sub one day, if I remember.
Yes,
and then
the Great Nomad.
And a bunch of people just got like dragged in all at once.
That was really awesome. That was unexpected, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every single, and it's been worthwhile ever since.
Thank you. I happen to agree with that statement. So this is obviously it's the first match. You guys probably haven't played each other before, so I imagine your preparation going into this is more just kind of how you deal with ladder in general with this matchup. So I'd like to hear kind of how your approach to the matchup is right now in general, not necessarily for this match. If you did have information, cool. If not, fine. But just getting your thoughts in general. Viper.
Well, my 6 pool I thought was really strong. I can actually pull it off against like elite AI on expert mode ×2 cheater. Like it works.
Yeah.
So I was confident in it, and it didn't because he had a cannon. I don't know, little irked. But the first match I thought was a standard macro, see how it went, and I did that because for the past week, 2 weeks, I've just been fighting really good like Platinum Protoss who just do macro games against me, and I lose every single time. So I mean, it was no surprise to me that I lost a macro game to Protoss. Got to work on that a little bit. I love heavy Ling styles, but it just doesn't work. So I did a Roach Hydra, and I don't know, I couldn't pull it off, I guess.
I actually think it was closer than you might realize, but we'll get to that in a bit. Before we do, send the same question over to you, Setheal. That was if you. Okay, you got it. Good.
PvZ matchup. I've been practicing a lot of PvZ. I used to be a very complicated player, going into like 2 base all-ins and just doing wanky builds against Zerg. I did this double Stargate Oracle and to Void Ray all-in. And it was just it was putting me behind in my macro field. My macro was bad, so this going into the first match, I was like, the build y'all saw, I've been practicing all since this morning, and on the second match, whenever I scouted your 6 pool, Viper, I was like, okay, this is a pretty big map. This might work in my advantage. It might work in my favor. But I feel pretty confident, especially doing just simple builds.
No, I have to say, like, that was interesting to me because extra details for other people here. I was actually watching him do this another day because Nomad was trying to help me deal with 6 pulls. And he's like, yeah, I need somebody to show you it. And I think it was you, if I remember right. Then I was like, oh, yeah, okay, he's doing, yeah, okay, yeah. And wow, this map's big. I'm like, that was the extent of our conversation about the map pretty much. I imagine it might. I don't know how well that map works out if you're going for more two basey stuff where you just need to have so many buildings right there on the ramp like that. Like
Yeah.
so many free targets, kind of. I
Uh,
wonder.
Well,
that go ahead.
I was just gonna say that when we were watching the game, that is something Omega and I noticed that the ramp is huge, but there's also the map itself is also really big,
Mhm.
and I think that's what really helped you hold off that sixth pool. I mean, obviously, as you were pointing out earlier, it really helped because you're able to get the forge up in time, and then that bought you time because he went for the forge really for a couple minutes
Also,
and
real quick, the other gentleman
for a
talking right
couple
now was
seconds.
helping me cast the second game.
Oh yeah,
He wasn't there in time for the pre-game interview. Sorry about that. This is Anisys.
hi.
I,
Yeah,
I I second that notion. Like the size of the map definitely played into that. I mean, like I was saying before, this map came out today. Like
yeah,
nobody's really played on it, so it's kind of interesting to see something like that happen right in front of our eyes. But
yeah. Well,
on,
oh,
I was
sorry.
actually going to say, I think there's an incredible amount of distance actually between the natural and the main. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Polar Night in that way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now I would almost wonder if like that weird Void Ray Phoenix attack that existed at the end of Wings of Liberty. I wonder if that would actually work here.
Well, I was going to say that this is an interesting map because it seems to have worked in both favors. It, excuse me. It seems to it seems like a map that can work in favor of both the Zerg and the
Hmm.
Protoss, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like if you do have speedlings, you can easily surround somebody on that ramp. But if you scout a Zerg player, like what happened tonight, it gives you plenty of time to prepare a defense
Mhm.
against an all-in because there is so much space that you have a lot of time to.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Mhm.
I was trying to move something.
It's all
Only
good.
clicked on the console control button.
But yeah, I mean, I
Uh,
think my point got across though is that like it's a big enough map where um you can you'll have time to uh no, I lost my train of thought.
no, it's okay.
You have
We
time to react. You have time to react
got the
to
idea.
what you see coming.
That was actually one thing I did want to mention, which was that third game, like that first game, was actually pretty nice in general from both players. I think it was just that there was this kind of weird, awkward moment. Like, you remember when the Zerglings were toward the bottom and then his army had moved up closer to your base, Viper?
Mm.
And you kind of like found that out with the Zerglings. Crazily enough, there was like basically nothing there to defend at that moment in time. So we like when I was casting that up there, I was like, "Oh no, he's gonna run the lings in. There's gonna be absolutely nothing to deal with it." And then, unfortunately, well, you saw what actually happened there. But I think like there was also the upgrades. Protoss had gone up very very fast to +3 attack,
Okay.
and I
I
think you started
noticed.
yours with a little late. I think you started yours a little late. I'm not sure about that though. I wouldn't be the one to ask. Um,
Yeah, I should have been at 2-2, but it might have not have finished on time.
okay. I was gonna say it seemed like the difference was subtle though. I imagine if you continue to work on
Mm.
that style, you'll probably catch up in time. In no time.
I what was
Uh,
nuts about that match was I was scouting around with the Phoenix Scout and I was like, where is this guy's army? And then whenever I saw the lanes run by, I was like, well, I can always go. Wait, why can't I go up here? And I didn't even notice that the ramp was blocked by the rocks. And then I moved back towards my base. I was like, okay, I'll scout again. Didn't see your army. And whenever I moved back out, all of a sudden the giant surround came and I was like, what's going on?
Hmm.
uh, yeah, that caught me off guard. I didn't even think to scout off to the left or to the right side of the map. It was just up the middle.
all right. I think that's what I'd like to cover. If Josh or any assistant have anything they'd like to ask, go ahead.
Um, I was really curious about the drone pull. that was actually something I was, mm, I like kind of finding uh, a little bit too all in-y, just in.
Uh-huh.
And so I was just kind
Fair
of wondering
question. Well, I knew that he scouted the pool, so I
Uh-huh.
figured he might have made like a gateway and a couple zealots. That's
Right.
what my take on it was. So if I had those extra drones on the front, to absorb the zealot hits, then I could probably bust him. But he had a cannon, and it didn't really work out. So.
Yeah. So, okay, that makes sense. I was just curious as to what was you were thinking,
Mm-hmm.
but that makes a lot of sense. Other than that, I don't really have anything else.
The plan I had for hibernation, if it had gone to the third map, was to do like some sort of two-base muta. It looks like the distance between the naturals is fairly close. I mean, the mains, it's kind of like that. What was it? The one map that we used to have. I was thinking the name is Apocalypse, but that's not right. It was like Metalopolis.
Metalopolis.
That Terran map, the
Mm-hmm.
creep highway.
Same kind of style architect almost, but it's your bases are at the top instead of at the bottom. Interesting. I thought mutas would have been really effective.
Didn't it have like island maps with neutral creep tumors that lagged the heck out of the game at one point?
Was that when they remade Metal? Yeah.
They remade it a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that wasn't the final version, but I always thought that was kind of interesting and weird. Like that would actually lag the game, but if it didn't, I was like, oh, that's kind of a clever way to slow down a base.
Which pro player did the spine crawler rush down the creep highway on Metal? Was it Nesty?
Maybe? I can't remember. I wasn't following GSL really at all back then. So it's just like I missed that era
Oh,
completely.
can we give a quick shout out?
Hmm?
Rest in peace, GSTL.
Yeah. GSTL's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yep.
It's official?
Yep.
More or less, they only had 2 teams left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
then
exactly a league anymore.
yeah, and then Axiom Acer left today.
So I guess 0 then, pretty much.
Yeah, there's no teams left in GSTL.
So all we have left is Pro League.
Pro League and WCS.
Yep.
And then all the European events, which
Yep.
have been really good. So at least we have those.
Shoutcraft has been doing really good for the North America scene.
I hope he does more of those. I really do.
Oh yeah.
It's so nice to actually see people like at the top of the ladder trying their hardest. Really pushing everybody.
And the day nights, man. Of course, you gotta have the day nights. You gotta like the underdogs over here. The that is awesome.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, frogs. I know. Don't worry. YouTube will be there to cover for you on the internet part of things.
We love you, frogs. I'm making a heart shape with my hand now for you.